Okay, so let's figure out, wing ourselves some kind of lap counter, shall we? So I've just created, and this is what happens when you save as an OBJ, made this finish line, and we're going to use that just to count laps, essentially. So I'm going to create a blueprint, and a type actor, which we'll call it finish line underscore BP. Let's open that up and drag my mesh inside it. And we're going to need to obviously rotate it. Oops, I accidentally pressed E to rotate and renamed it to whatever, to E. And we'll probably need to scale this up a bunch too. Here we are. Nice. Teeny tiny. My scale today is all cray. Okay, let's just go 10. Okay, let's go 50. Cool. 50 seems like a good number. And let's also, I'm going to turn off collision on the finish line. So set that to no collision, because we're actually just going to use a box collision. And this box collision. Oh my god, what's happening? Yeah, more or less that'll do. You can sort of fine tweak these a bit more. And I'm going to rename this to box 1. Just B1. Because actually we're going to have 3 of them. So let's Control W and Control W. And move one like over here. And move one even further along. And we'll refine those as we go in. But for now, we're going to need to set up a couple of things. So I'm just going to go into the event graph. On begin play, I'm actually going to, shall we set a timer or shoot it as a function? Let's just do it as an event. Set event, set timer by event. So if you want to do a function, you could just do it as a function. And I don't necessarily know if there's much computational difference. So every 1 second, loop. And what we're going to say is we're going to create a new variable, which we'll call time. And we should probably do it as a float, right? Makes sense. So let's get our float. And let's set our float. Set. I'll just drag off it again. I'll just say set. Sorry, I'm just thinking we should probably actually do this every like 0.01, really, for a more efficient timer. So let's do a little plus, float, add 0.01 to it. Boom, 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 boom. Good. And all right, so while this finish line is in play, we're going to create some time and we're just going to add time to it. And as well as that, we are going to want to feed information to our widget. But let's figure out where the widget is first and what it's actually called. So I see it's in assets. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's in blueprints. Yeah, there we go. I moved the mirror out of the way on this before because it was distracting. Let's just in the top left hand corner of the screen. Let's create a binding. And let's call this. Shall we call this? We'll create 2. We'll actually have 2. Let's promote this to a variable. And let's call this current time. And we'll have another one. Another text block underneath that, which we'll call best time, best lap. And best time. Or maybe best lap time. Wait. Doesn't matter. Let's bind that and call it best lap time. Now, I always like these to look pretty, and one thing that I often do is I pen a string. So with this, I can say something like best lap time, like that. YU into U. It's got to do some conversions. YU into U like that. And that should look visually a lot nicer. And we're going to need to speak to this. So actually, right at the start, before we even do that, I don't know why we're creating the widget, so we've actually, it's probably on the character. So let's not actually create the widget, sorry, let's get all widgets of class. And there's only going to be one of this widget. So we're just going to say get a copy, and then we're going to promote this to a variable, which, and I know I'm flying through this quite fast, but obviously you will have the ability to pause my screen and click and follow buttons, but I'm trying to explain as I'm going. Alright, so now we're getting the widget, we're doing this, that's all good. Now we've got this reference, we can say, hey, you, let's set current time. And what we're going to set current time to? Well, we're going to set current time to this. Okay, let's give it a test. So we can see now in the top left, if that stupid mouse thing disappears, we have a lap time. Awesome. Occasionally, we're going to need to reset time to 0. And we're going to do this by setting B1. So when we overlap with B1, so we're going to need a bunch of begin overlaps, but first of all, we're going to say, what's it called? What's the character? It's called pawn player, BP pawn player. So we're going to, once we overlap it, we're going to say set time to 0. And then it'll start again. So obviously the timer's already going, but yeah, we'll fix it in a minute. So it goes through 0, there you go, sets it back to 0. A lot better. And now this is actually going to be our lap counter, but so the reason, let me quickly explain why I've actually got a couple of these boxes, these trigger boxes, is because we don't want the player to be able to cheat. So we don't want them, when they're setting lap records, just to be able to drive circles around here. So what we're actually going to do is, first of all, to make these easier to click, I'm just going to increase the line thickness on them, like to 10 on all of them. And I'm just going to put these like, each third around my level. So sure, B1's fine there. B2, let's just go ahead and stick it over here real quick. So only if the player actually goes through these checkpoints, which they will never know where they are. I mean, we will. We can cheat and set our lap records. So only if the player actually goes through these. And you want to try and stick them like, the player's never going to miss that one. Whereas this one, however, there's a very good chance that what if they're off track at this point. So always try and consider these, to get these sort of like a narrow section. I guess this area is probably relatively narrow, but I'm just going to scale it up as well a whole bunch, so they're less likely to miss it. So try and funnel those to a place, where they're probably more likely going to hit it. Now, what we kind of want to say, I guess, is when it goes through B2, and obviously we're going to want U again, and let's do the same thing with the B3. So just Control W, duplicate these. I guess we'll just probably have like an integer. So let's create a new int and call it progress. So when it goes through here, we'll get progress, and we'll just increment it. And we'll do the same thing. Get progress and increment it. Now, to make sure that these actually only really fire the one time, and again, stop the play, sort of trying to cheese the system. Let's just quickly put a sequence in. So I'm going to hold S, or you can just type in sequence. And I'm going to do a combination of a do once. Oh, we can actually just, yeah, we'll just, sorry, ignore the sequence. Let's get rid of the sequence. Let's just stick a do once in there. Do once here. And let's quickly create a custom event called resetty, or whatever you wish to call it. Okay, you know, that, okay, then I guess we will need a sequence after all. Okay, so those will reset. I'll do that. And then what we probably want to do is, before we do this, let's actually just say, so let's create a branch, and if, and we will say if progress, so which by default is 0, is equal to, so we'll go through, become 1, we'll go through, become 2, is equal to 2, then reset timer. And we also want to call reset, which we call resetty. So we're just going to type in resetty. And then what we're also going to want to do is feed the current time. So actually let's do it before we even do U. So let's feed the current time to the best time. So again, we've got this widget reference. So we're going to get U, and we're going to set best lap time. And that is going to be equal to time. Now we will, this is actually just going to set the last lap time really. We will need to do a little bit of maths to get that working shortly, but let's just see if this system works. I'm not really sure what's going on with the collisions sometimes. Okay, we're ready, come on, yeah! Awesome, so we know that works. You know what? Before we set timer, actually, I'm going to create, get this, another one of these, which I'll just call it start. And start's actually in pretty much the same place. It can just sort of stay there. But what we're going to do is start is when it begins to overlap with the cart, I'm actually just going to, shall I destroy it? Can you destroy a component? Or shall I just move it out of the way? This is actually what's going to, I will just do a do once, really. And just never reset it. So that way, the timer won't actually start straight away until it actually go through it. And then, boom, now we've got a timer. Okay, and then that's pretty much good. I think we're pretty much happy with that. We will need to sort of do a check though, really quick. Here, let's just do a quick old logic sanity check before we go ahead and set some best times. So what we'll need to do is get best time. Let's think about this. First, we want to get best time, which is a string. Why are we not doing this as a float? So we're just gonna have to do conversions. So let me break you real quick, and in fact, we'll just create a new one. Bestest time, which we should do as a float. And we'll just do the conversion in here. So we'll just do that conversion in here, like that. This does no longer work, but that's fine. So let's get them again. Right. Get bestest time and set bestest time. Okay. Cool, that should look better. Right, no, it's actually time. That would be the thing. So, wait, okay, let me think about this. Sometimes, let's just work it through. So we need to say, is time less than best time? So we should actually give best time a default value of, instead it would be 0 to like 999. And then, so is time is less than bestest time, then set it. Right, so is time less than bestest time, then set it. Do that and do that. Let's just move you over here. Otherwise, skip that step, bypass it, and just go through. Whew. Okay, this is going to take a second of testing. Why did best time go to 0? Oh, because I'm saying it before. God damn it. God damn it. No, it's because I just said it to that. God damn it. So much testing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that'll work. If not, you can sort of figure it out for yourself. Maybe figure out the logic. Okay, so you know what? It was probably stupid doing 2 points. I think I'm making it harder on myself. So I'm actually going to get rid of B2. Say, hey, you, B2, you're gone. You don't need you anymore. And we're actually just going to say, are you greater than? And there you go. That should work. I don't think we needed the 2 extra steps. What have I broken now? Because it's always going to be across. Come on, John. Oh, praise the Lord. Finally beat my best time. Cool. It works. Like I say, shrink it down to actually just 1 point and it works a bit better. There you go.